What's up, guys? It's Justin with FixMyPEV and also Relentless Shred Shop, and I wanted to sit down and have another talk with you guys today. And this time I'm not going to talk about future motion. I'm not going to talk about anybody else. I'm going to talk about myself today and my business. So unfortunately, I have some news I want to share with you guys today that I really never anticipated having to share. I have been riding an amazing wave for, what is it, 5+ years in general now, and as far as my business goes, about 4.5, and I've got some big changes coming. I don't really know exactly what those are going to look like, but I wanted to share some of the things that I am certain of at this time. So since this is a special day for me, I wanted to bring my original pint, which is what got this whole journey started for me. This is the first pint I bought in, I believe it was August of, or actually it was probably October of 2019. I started riding in August. Somebody else's board got me hooked, and then I bought my own board, and this is her. And it's been super reliable. This obviously isn't my daily anymore. This is still a stock pint battery. I've got the Cushnog High on there. I've got the Float Life grip tape on there. I've got the, what used to be Extra Rad or Hella Rad Reborn, but is now the Street Pro 2 for the pint. So it's been awesome. But it's time to get the board out of the way and talk about other things. Since this is a special day, as I said, I've also got the first Float Life shirt I ever got. This was given to me for free by Jeff back in 2019 when I bought the parts for that pint. Interestingly enough, I was super stoked to get into the community. I didn't really know many people. The community wasn't really as, it wasn't as big as it is now, for lack of a better word. Ultimately, it's amazing. The community is amazing, and that's the reason I've been around as long as I have. But today I'm letting you guys know that there will be some big changes happening with my company. And before you get too excited or before you start making too many assumptions, I am not closing down my business completely, but I am going to be shifting some of my focus. And what that's going to look like is, first and foremost, my local repairs. I am not going to be offering local repairs in any type of official capacity anymore. That is what I have operated as Relentless Shred Shop for 4.5 years now. I've done a lot of repairs for people. I've done a lot of services for people. I have made a lot of friends. I've made a lot of connections, and I've really grown a solid reputation for myself. What I am going to be focusing on is my website, FixMyPEV.com. I will still be allocating time and effort into that as long as I can. The future of that is going to have to be something that I decide at a later date. That's not today, but ultimately I need to free myself up for other opportunities in life, because I've said this a few times, but working on Onewheels, although I am extremely passionate about that and all of the community connections that it comes with, it has not been cutting it for me. I have been scraping by on little to no money every single year. I've mentioned that a few times now. I didn't talk about it a whole lot a couple years ago, but as things started to decline, it's just become increasingly more difficult, and that is just unfortunately the life of some small business owners, especially when they're doing it on their own. And of course, I've had help along the way in specific relation to the Float Life here in Sacramento. The shirt that I pointed out, Jeff McCosker gave this to me for free on that first day that I bought those parts for the board. And the Float Life has been a great partner for me. I've been able to be a dealer for them since early 2020 when I started my repair shop, and I have been a rider who has enjoyed each and every one of their products I've bought, with the exception of the float fender, sorry, but that just was the only thing I did not really like. But at the end of the day, they've had amazing products. They are amazing people. I've made really awesome friends at the Float Life. Brandon Ogden, huge shout out to Brandon. He is just an amazing person, as many people know. And he and I, along with two of our other friends, Brandon's current girlfriend, Vanessa, and our other friend, Kyla, co-founded our group, Gold Country Onewheel, back in the beginning of 2020 as well, when everybody was looking for something to do during social distancing and work from home and all that. So that's really when a lot of our group took shape. because we grew exponentially at that time, and to this day, we started with 4 members, we now have almost 800, and 99.9% of them are local. We have just made the decision to accept local people in our group and people in the general surrounding areas as well, just to keep it tight-knit and keep it like a family. And we didn't want to dilute any of the camaraderie or cohesiveness or anything by spreading out too far. We are Gold Country Onewheel. We are not any other region Onewheel ultimately. So I just wanted to say thank you to those 3 people as well. But yeah, at this time, I have not been bringing enough money into my life to really live in a comfortable way. I have not had my own house or my own apartment or anything of that nature ultimately since 2021, April of 2021, or maybe a little bit after that, May of 2021. Now that I'm thinking back, I moved out of my apartment in El Dorado Hills, and I did have a short stint in Oregon. I was up there for about 3 months, and I had a place to live at that time, but that just didn't pan out long term. So other than that, I have been camping out in my car a ton. I have been spending a lot of time at my family's house here in South Sacramento, which is actually where I'm at right now. We're doing a lot of repairs in the 10x12 shed that I helped have built on that property, because I really needed a place to work and I didn't want to shut my business down, because realistically I could have shut this down back in 2021. I was working out of a public storage unit and I was getting flack for that. Shout out to Matt Robledo, one of our locals, who was there with me when I was working on his board, and we had the office lady at public storage come crash the party and ask what was going on, and that was kind of an awkward situation, but it was what it was. But ultimately, it's been a journey. I want to give a huge shout out to Mike Sierra and Ev Cadet. I might be saying her last name wrong, but I've just always called her Ev, but they're the co-founders of Meals on Onewheels. I had worked with them for multiple years. I still consider myself to be a part of their crew, and even though things have slowed down, it's just been an amazing journey, and I had a lot of great experiences getting out there and helping our unhoused neighbors, introducing them to the Onewheel, ultimately introducing them to love and care and support. And yeah, there's people out there who kind of aren't into that, feel like it's just an enablement type of thing, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's a love thing. Those people are going to make the decisions they're going to make, and at the end of the day, if we can be a positive presence for them, that was what we were after. And yeah, it's, in my opinion, really hard to talk trash about people who do good things, and if you are, then it's probably something you should question about your own heart and your own nature. But it's been a great journey, ultimately. I was in a place in my life where I didn't really know where I was headed back then, and to be fair, I really kind of am in a similar position now, just with less depression. I don't know where I'm headed after this, but I do know that it's going to be great. I'm going to be available for other opportunities. Never really thought I'd go back to the 9-to-5 life, but that's a very, very real possibility. Probably going to be sticking on the West Coast, but I may not be in Sacramento anymore. So that could have impacts in more areas than just the shop. But some of you are probably wondering what the timeline is ultimately. I would ultimately say that right now I am all but ending services immediately. And I say that lightly because I have been in talks with certain people who may be needing my assistance this month, but I'm hoping to have those things tied up, my current queue worked down by the end of the month, so October 31st at the latest. And that doesn't mean that people should try to squeeze in and schedule all at the last minute, but if you really do need some work done, please let me know. And if you're a local and you're a friend of mine, obviously I still have the skills, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I just won't be taking standard referrals, and I will not be taking standard mail-in jobs or anything like that for regular type of work. But I do want to let you guys know the stuff I've been doing in relation to FixMyPEV, like offering downgrades on people's GT controllers or on sometimes Pine controllers, Pine X controllers, things like that. I 100% will still be doing those things. Those are things that I can do without needing to have my whole array of tools, like the arbor press and bead breaker, and I mean, I've broken beads with my hands multiple times, so I guess I'll always have bead breakers as long as I have hands. But I'm not completely shutting down every service I offer. I'm keeping the website open, as I told you guys. I will be hopefully allocating more time to improving some of my guides. I have a lot of teardown guides ultimately on there that help you with certain jobs that you might do on your own. I still want to champion and support the DIY efforts that a lot of people put in, especially in places where they don't have access to people who work on boards like me. But I still want to support the community, and I still want to interact with the community, and I'm going to continue to do so. So if you have questions, FixMyPEV.com, click on contact us, send me a question. I will be happy to answer it. But just know, unless it's related to downgrades or assistance with drop-in kits or anything like that, I will not be taking any standard work. So maybe a tire change here and there. It's tough, guys. I hope you understand, but I ultimately just need to get myself to a place to where I don't feel so married to one specific region. I want to have some flexibility. I want to be able to get up and go and travel and still have a way to make ends meet. And I've, in a way, been on a leash here in Sacramento because of the things that I've involved myself with, and they've been absolutely amazing. I've said this so many times, but my involvement in being a co-founder of Gold Country Onewheel and leading group rides throughout the summer months every single year for the last 4 years has been absolutely amazing, and doing repairs and all that and being available week to week, sometimes in the middle of the night, whenever duty calls. I have worked 24/7, 365 for the last 4.5+ years, and I need to focus some of that energy elsewhere so that I can actually put a roof over my head and potentially meet somebody special and start a family and do all the things that I've wanted to do my entire life but haven't done at the age of 36. If you're 36 or older or younger and you feel like you're running out of time, take a breather, step back, and really break things down. Are you actually running out of time, or do you just have other things that are filling up your plate and stopping you from doing the things you want to do? And if that's the case, then cut those other things out. Literally, just might be hard, might not be able to be done seamlessly overnight, but you have to make the tough decisions. Just like I made a tough decision to leave my day job. I was making 56 grand a year on salary, and I left my day job to pursue my passions to make less than $10,000 a year before expenses and taxes. So who knows, 8 grand, 6 grand, 5 grand, I don't know what it's boiled down to. I don't have my reports in front of me, but it hasn't been much. It's been enough to keep gas in my gas tank. It's been enough to keep $150 worth of food every month in my stomach and pay my phone bill and stuff like that. So I need more. I need more than that. And I just want to thank each and every one of you watching this right now for the support. A lot of you have been so supportive, and I know that you'll continue to be, and I will continue to be around for you guys. Maybe not physically, but digitally. Just hit me up anytime. That website goes straight to my email inbox. I check that frequently, with the only exceptions usually being weekends, so I can rest a little bit and recharge a little bit for the week. But love you guys, and I look forward to our community's future and whatever that might look like. There have been a lot of negative things going on, and I've shed some light on some of those things, and it's kind of put me in that arena. But I'm not a negative guy. I am a positive, loving, supportive guy, and I will continue to be that way. And at this point, there's just a lot of reasons that I came to this conclusion that this was the right thing to do at this time. So thanks again. I will see you guys around, and keep fixing, keep riding, keep chasing your passions, even if they have nothing to do with Onewheel or any of the stuff that we've all shared together over the last 5 years. Anyway, see you next time. Safety first.